Colorado. I don't have a good way of talking to Colorado fans for a number of reasons. The ones that were Colorado fans before Coach Prime got there, they remember Eric Bieniemy. They remember, oh man, it's my man. Oh man, I had his name.
Darian Hagan.
Is it Darian?
Darian Hagan, Michael
Thank
Westbrook.
you. There
Okay.
you go. Finished like fourth in the Heisman vote in like 1989. Actually,
Yeah,
same
something like that.
year that Andre Ware won the
Mhm.
Heisman Trophy. Won that national championship, shared that national championship with Bieniemy at tailback. Don't remember Cordell Stewart as Slash and going.
Yep.
Don't remember Michael Westbrook over Ty Law's dead body. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yes.
And then Rashawn Salam. You know what I'm
Chris
saying? Like,
Hudson. Chris Hudson, the Thorpe Award winner. You know what I'm saying? Alfred Williams. You
oh
know,
man,
Canavis McGee. You know,
had dudes, right?
They had dudes. They had dudes.
dudes. Laviska Shenault popped up just Sunday.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
another
bro.
dude they just had.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Colorado, and I got a lot of new Colorado fans that I don't know how to talk to.
Oh Lord.
So, Joe, what we got here is I got HBCU fans who adopted Colorado in addition to the squad they already support. So much so that when Central Florida played Colorado, let's say that there was quite a few Bethune-Cookman, quite a few FAMU, and I dare I say there were a few of my peoples that was absolutely down there from Morris Brown getting down. Okay.
What? Really?
It was a dog. We tried to turn that into a classic.
I love that.
We tried to turn that into a classic.
I can see that happen.
My big cousin, he lived in Orlando, and he went to Morris Brown, and his daughter goes to FAMU, and he was so mad that he could not get tickets to Central Florida, Colorado.
But you know what, man? The Colorado's probably. I mean, how often are they gonna ever come out that way, even with UCF in the league? So yeah.
So there's that, right?
And this Colorado team.
This Colorado, right? Knowing that you got Shedeur doing what Shedeur is doing, Travis, I hope is going to be okay, but I would give that man the Heisman Trophy 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he ain't got to prove nothing else to me, but yeah.
I mean that's just all right. Let me walk this out just so people on the same page, because I don't understand that those folks ain't watch college football like I watch college football. Ashton Genty not going to win the Heisman Trophy.
No,
he could break Barry Sanders' rushing record. He's still not going to win the Heisman Trophy.
I don't
Why?
think so.
Because he goes to Boise State. That's why. It's just not happening. Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel is up there. Cam Ward is up there, but for their obvious reasons, right? Jalen Milroe till they lost to Vanderbilt, but we'll see. I look at what Travis is doing and what Prime is allowed, quite frankly, for him to do, because I don't know that there are a lot of coaches are conservative by nature.
Mm-hmm.
Got a dude like him, you ask him to play one position, probably wide receiver. But one
man, we differ on that one, but yes, you're right. I would want him at DB, man. I want him at DB if I can have him.
We don't have a defense that he's just gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna be out there. I'm not throwing at him. You know? Okay, cool. We take away this side of the field, the middle, anything you want else, anything else.
I feel like his NFL future is a corner. I know why they need him at receiver at Colorado, but I feel like his NFL future with that size, that brain for the game, his quick twitch ability. So, I was like, I like that. You know,
Prime put it this way, and he did this at Jackson State because people talk about his stats and FBS. I'm like, man, imagine if you were audacious enough to throw in what he was doing at Jackson State.
Yeah.
He said, look, the boy is an elite corner, but his heart is in playing wide receiver. I want your heart. Yeah. I always want your heart. I want to know what it is you think that you're good at and see if we can't make that work.
That's
and not for nothing, like Jalen Ramsey got to be so mad that he didn't play wide receiver at Florida State.
Oh, man. I mean, just think about the dudes that could have, missed out on this.
He is the 23rd best paid wide receiver and the number 1 paid corner. So like that's easy for me. Like when I draft him a corner, probably same reason I'm gonna draft Travis Kelce at tight end. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to pay you more than I gotta pay you.
Right. I play whatever the market sets, but it's just, and I know the trap, but I think that the market is going to course correct on receivers eventually. There's so many good ones, and it feels like every year there's always like 3 or 4 elite ones, and like. At a certain point, it's just like, well, wait a minute. It'd be like running backs in a way. It's just like, well, we can always get one. It's not going to we're, our fortunes are not going to rise and fall. Like, and especially if you got a quarterback, like you can look at Mahomes and be like, everybody ain't gonna be Mahomes, but it'd be like, Josh Allen. It like if you have a superstar, you can kind of make it work with some dudes. But to your point, like if this is what Travis loves, I'll be like, why don't you come out here, be receiver, but maybe every now and again, you hop in on in a dime package or something like that.
And I think
Mhm.
that's the future that I would expect for him in the NFL, because the thing that you can't get around is he's gotten hurt each of the last 2 years.
Right. Exactly.
And that's not a virtue of him being indurable. That's a virtue of, if you play a season worth of snaps in the first 6 games, you probably are going to suffer the kind of injury that you would normally suffer playing a full 12.
He's having double the amount of collisions that he ordinarily would have. It's bound that something is going to happen. And we ain't talking about somebody who's 6'1", 270. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I'm with that. I guess the question I have now is more related to Deion than it is to Colorado.
Yeah.
All them boys say Bucky are gone after this year, right? And Bucky don't play football. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So what is it that we expect to see from Prime in 2025, 2026, 2027?
I do think that he will stay. I do think he'll stay at Colorado another couple of years, because I think that, like, is it really like, let's say Colorado wins 6-7 games this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then next year, I mean, it's going to be tough because they're not going to have Shador, they're not going to have Travis, but like, they kind of hack it out 7, 8 wins, something like that. And even then, I mean, I'm being very generous by saying that. Like, don't you think that like he wouldn't mind trying to get to Florida State or get back to Florida somewhere? Like, I think he wants to be in the mix. I think he wants to coach.
Well, let me walk this out, because I don't know how many people know this, but this is me doing my due diligence, basically doing the job we train to do, to get back to the top of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to Jackson State. How does he get to Jackson State? Well, he called Mickey Andrews and said, "Hey, coach, I think I want to do this." Do what? Be the head coach of Florida State, because remember they had a vacancy, right? Mike Norvell was not yet that guy. And Mickey was straight up with him. Deion, you didn't graduate.
Right. That's right.
And he's like, "What you mean?" They're not going to hire a head coach with no experience and no diploma. And in fact, I think we got laws against that. So he said, all right. But he's prime. So word gets back to Jackson State that he wants to be a head coach. And they said, look, we can't give you no diploma, but we know where you can get one. So that man go to Talladega, graduates August 2020, and is named the head coach of Jackson State in September 2020.
Man.
Right there. Right there. And then
connecting dots.
Almost immediately, right? You're prime, and you are one of the best marketers in the world. It's like you, Taylor Swift, and Ryan Reynolds. Like, y'all, if y'all want to get something done, you're going to get something done. And you turn Jalen Daniels with OL, and not Jalen Daniels. What was Jalen's last name? Jalen Jackson. Because he was at Florida, and then he transferred over to Jackson State.
That's right. Yeah, that was one of the first ones. It was like, ooh.
Right. And you turn that dude into a dude that can win while you waiting on your kid to basically just get one more year, and then you hand it to him. And let me go flip the number one player in the class of 2022 from Florida State,
right?
By the way,
right,
to Jackson State,
right.
And okay, now we got something. Now, short of losing Celebration Bowl twice, which I the first time I was I was like, what? And the second time I'm like, damn, y'all gonna go out like that? That sucks.
Because that team was like a 5-loss team too, wasn't it? Like South Carolina State?
Yes,
was that the one they lost to?
South Carolina
That wasn't a good team. They didn't have. I was like, I'm weird. How's this happening?
Happened to be there, right?
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you take this trip to Colorado, and I often go, what a wild sequence of events, because Colorado had kind of slowly put themselves in a position to be able to take advantage of this, because you had Carl Durrell and Mel Tucker before,
right?
So there's nothing you don't really have to do the kind of massaging that you once did. And Rick George just on the spot going, ooh, I know how to save Colorado football all at once. And get us the hell up out of this Pac-12 that's imploding. Let me go tell this man I will let him do what he needs to do and then get out of his way. And it's working, because everywhere but on a football field, all the check marks are going up. It's green everywhere you look. It is working. With you, though. I think the man wants to, at some point, be a head coach at Florida State.
Yeah.
After that, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, but yes, he wants to. I mean, he told you he wants to play in a national championship, and I think he's done a pretty good job. I mean, like against Kansas State, one of the things that kind of hit me all of a sudden in the third, fourth quarter, I was like, they're stopping Kansas State. Like the defense is better. I was like, this is a better team, a tougher team.
Johnson. DJ Gidden was just getting on that behind.
Yeah, I mean, he did. You know, DJ Giddens got a little loose. He got a little loose. But I mean, this is. I was like, this team has a little bit more grit, and those boys play hard for him, man.
Yeah, they do.
Like no matter what you say, like those boys play hard for him. So there's something to him. And look, I, I'm a TCU guy. I never wanted Sonny Dykes. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't want to say it like that because he seems like a lovely guy. But I always was just like, that's not who I want. And the dude that I've always wanted. And I felt like if TCU had done it, it moved in the right way, maybe we could have been in the mix. But maybe we still can be. If I was like, Deion has spent much of his adult life in DFW. He knows those kids there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's still home for him.
That's still home for him. When I was at TCU, Deion filmed one of his Nike commercials at our home stadium. I remember I was there and he had like, the Nike check in the stands or whatever. And I was just like, yo, he knows that area. Now I'm like, maybe, I'm sure Florida State would probably be a little bit, more preferable, but I'm just like TCU, man, like, maybe you should run it back again, man. Give him a call, see how he feels. What do you got? What are your plans next year, bro? Let's just talk,
Joel, I don't know that you have to get out of his way. And that means that you got to change the way that you do business.
Well, that's why we start calling ourselves Texas Christian University, and some people won't respect that. But yes,
hey, look, that's one. That's one. But the man that can get me to call him Coach Prime instead of Deion Sanders might get me to call them TCU. That said, one of the things that I've always kind of, I think actually Bomani's been very loud about this point. Texas decided here recently that they want to win more than they want to be Texas.
Right.
I don't look at Texas Christian as wanting to be a winner more than they want to be TCU. The thing about like when you're the champ, people want to call you by champ.
Right.
It's like being coach. People who doesn't want to be called coach or doctor. If you're got a PhD or an MD, you want to be called doctor. I think if y'all are willing to get out of his way, it'll work. But y'all be real, but like y'all got a Greek village that ain't even a Greek village. You know what I mean?
Don't even talk. Okay. That area, I don't spend no time over there. You know what I'm saying? No offense to those people, but that was not my part of campus.
Look, I was down there with the bros, and all we was talking about was we would tear this place apart. Y'all would not let us come back through here. Yeah, hey, that's your mama? Cool. Let me take my shirt off right quick. Can't take us nowhere. I say this, you should know my mama, she got a lifetime achievement award from Deltas.
Oh.
She that dynasty sign. And my cousin, he's an alpha, but I can't help nobody that went 1906. You did what you did. I can't help you. You know what I mean?
Hey man, family blood is thicker than that, surely. Okay. Y'all crazy, dog.
Hey, look, my mama said, look, you made it through school, you made it through college, you ain't never been arrested, you got all these other things going on for you. Why you gonna go wreck it with this? Mama, them your brothers. I know.
I mean, man, I don't understand, man. It's just like, look, I never understood like why the cross sorority hate for it too. It's just like, man. I thought that, I just assumed it was like, oh, we all kind of in this together. Like, I can understand like the beef between the fraternities and sororities, but I'm kind of like, we kind of all up for grabs now, right?
No. Hey, look, Joel, how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Okay, all right. So I'm 5'5".
Okay.
But what the bros would tell, what my brothers would tell you is, you welcome to try him.
Look,
you are welcome to try him.
I'm the son of a 5'6" man.
There's something to that man is always down to fight, whether or not he's right.
Look, man.
Whether or not he's right. You've
already
given something to fight about. Somebody on here said, I don't date nobody under 6 feet. So now everybody over 6 feet got to die. You know what I mean? Like, got to bring that standard down.
Look, man. Look, bro. Look, man. I was just like, look, man. Because I thought I was also going to be that hyped growing up. I didn't really hit my growth spurt till like late in high school. it was just kind of like, I gotta prove, like, I can't let people think, what I'm saying, that this is one win. You know what I mean? And it's like my dad, he fought in Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
he was an all-state running back in Arkansas at 5'6". You know what I'm saying? So it was just like I never had that. I always knew because I looked at my father. I was like, my father was like the toughest person in the world, and you can't tell him me 5'6" got something to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
look. But my parents are both 5'7". My mother is a retired officer, captain. My father is a retired buck sergeant. But I'll never forget. I told him, high school, hey, yeah, I'm gonna play quarterback this year. Really? He was deflated. He was deflated. And
Really?
yeah, I said, what happened? Man, Negro, I thought you was gonna be a fullback. And you know what I'm saying? That's those are my people. You know what I'm saying? Those are my
I
people.
I can see how they instilled within you, bro. Like, what I'm saying, this is why you where you at right now. You know what I'm saying? That is a faith. That is a faith that if everybody had somebody that loved them and had faith in them like
Hey,
that, you know what I'm
fullback.
saying? Yeah.
That's my dad. Uh, man, Joel, I can we do this again? Because I'm having a good time. Oh, I talked
Please.
too long.
No, look, bro, anytime, man. I told you, like, I don't get to do this, often, and I'm a big fan of yours, bro. So, like, please, anytime, man. We can talk more Oklahoma, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm down to do.
Might get me to actually call them TCU. That is the influence that you are
If
having
I
on
can,
me.
if I can move you to at least considering it, I feel like the job has been worth it. So yeah.
That is Joel Anderson. If you have not heard Slow Burn podcast, he won a Peabody for, by the way. One of my favorite acceptance speeches because he wasn't actually thinking they were going to win. You should go watch it.
It's crazy. It
Yeah,
was a little
no,
weird. It was a weird. Yeah, it was podcast of the year 2024. That was earlier this year. And so yeah, man, that felt nice. It felt nice. I could tell my family could understand. Like it's like when I left ESPN, it was just like, oh, nobody cared about my job anymore. But now it's like, oh, okay, you still baby doing okay. So yeah, it was nice.
thank you so much for joining me, dude.
My pleasure, bro. Anytime, anytime. I can't wait to come back.